With all our hearts, we pray and ask, God bless Anambra.
Professor Charles Soludo took over the reins of power as governor of Anambra State on March 17, 2022. Anambra, who had overwhelmingly voted for him, jubilantly welcomed the man with a Midas touch to turn things around. They were very certain that the globally acclaimed erudite professor of economics will surpass his predecessors in all indices of good governance. Having such a man as governor is undoubtedly a blessing. Today, it is glaring to all and sundry that there couldn't have been a better alternative to Soludo in leading Anambra, one of the great A states of the Federation, at a time like this. Within 2 years, Professor Soludo, a leader with unparalleled passion for people's interests, has brought the promised disruptive change to bear across Anambra State in line with his 5 pillars of development. They are security, law and order, infrastructure and economic transformation, human capital development, governance reforms, and a sustainable environment. The Ministry of Housing, under the able and resourceful leadership of Honorable Paul Onyeka, a former member of the State House of Assembly who represented Ilkusigo constituency, wasted no time in aligning with the dream of Mr. Governor for Anambra. Honorable Onyeka believed his ministry is critical to 4 out of the 5 aforementioned pillars of development.
We have 5 pillars that every single thing we are doing in Anambra State, I'm called on. So, out of the 5 pillars, housing can be found in the issue of infrastructure. When we are dealing with edifices, we are putting up in different places in the state. Then you go to social agenda. That one is all about our interventions in the field of education, health, and the other amenities that are very important to the social community. Then you can also find housing in the aspect of governance. That's when we begin to look at housing, because we service almost all the MDS, providing an enabling environment for them to work. So under that, you see that housing is also in the pillar of governance. And then finally, in that pillar of environment, you also have housing playing a very vital role. In fact, everything about our new housing policy is centered on environment. For instance, today in Anambra, you don't just build for building's sake. You build for livability. You build for people to enjoy their lives in where they are, places they are living.
In few months' time, Governor Soludo will proudly deliver one of the legacy projects of his administration when work is concluded on what is anticipated to be the most befitting government house and governor's lodge in Nigeria. With this development, his disruptive change has successfully broken the jinx which had stalled this all-important project for decades. Indeed, the rhythm is fast changing across the state. The project on delivery is expected to boost the image and rating of Anambra State in the Committee of States in Nigeria, as citizens and residents will for the first time in its over 30 years history point out a government house and governor's lodge that are second to none in the country.
It has been a project that governors will come in, look at and run away. Come in, look at, and they will just decide not to go through. So it's a genius project. But under this administration, Mr. Governor, who has been known all over the world, internationally, nationally, and locally as a jeans breaker, has decided to break the jeans by making sure that a very befitting, well planned, and execution going on very effectively is being carried out as we talk. Yeah, I mean, the issue of construction of the Anambra State Government House and Lodge. That is so key to India Anambra.
The large premises will host other critical facilities, such as the Deputy Governor's Lodge, the Secretariat, headed by the Secretary to the State Government, a worship center, a firehouse, butchery, works department, an amphitheater, a banquet hall, among others. Mr. Ikechukwu Nnagase, the managing director of Ike Jordan Nigeria Limited, the contracting firm handling the project, is excited to be part of the history Governor Soludo is making with the project.
We're here in Anambra constructing the new Anambra State Government House and Lodge here in Oka, Anambra State. It has been a good relationship with Anambra State government, and at the same time, of course, we have our challenges, but our challenges are surmountable. We are taking care of them, and looking forward to the day we hand over the project back to the client. By the special grace of God, Governor and India Anambra will be taking over this project on or before the end of this year. Within the middle of the year, Governor should be living here, and the secretariat, the governor's office, should be put in use. That's what we are working with. Just like what you said, we came here a couple of days ago, and what you're seeing now is not what you saw. It means there is a massive progress going on. As a young Nigerian, I feel very, very good. And like I've told the governor several times, I'm looking forward to hand over and read an address of handing over this project to him. Other Nigerian youths should look at what is going on here between us, Nigerian group, and the Anambra, and know that there's nothing that is impossible for a young Nigerian to do.
The professor of economics has again proven his onion in the area of land economy, which is currently being demonstrated at the old commissioner's quarters in line with the state's new housing policy, which seeks to see in the Anambra maximizing the available land. This is particularly commendable given the fact that it is the second smallest state in the country after Lagos, with a landmass of 4,844 kilometers square.
The buildable area in Anambra today is 65% of any space you want to do your building. The remaining 35% is chosen for the issue of tree planting, whether economical or non-economical. That's ornamental trees, flowers, putting green veg areas, and most importantly, for catchment piece, because we know in terms of land space in Anambra, we are second to Lagos in the smallness of land space in the whole country. And we don't want to joke with that. We are very intentional. Mr. Governor has been very intentional in trying to see how we begin to be conscious of the usage of land, so that in the near future, the generations unborn will have places to live and be happy about. That is why we talk about high-rise buildings today instead of going horizontal. We go vertical.
When we came here at first, this place you see is what we call the commissioner quarters of Anambra State. And before now, there are about 17 or lesser buildings here, because there was a colossal waste of land here. And then our governor, when he came in his wisdom and from experience, he looked at this place and said that we are wasting a lot of land. There is no need going outside again to look for another land for commissioner quarters when we already have one existing here. And if you see behind me, you see there are 3 buildings there. Before now, it's only one bungalow that is situated in this place, occupying an area of about 3,000 plus square meters, which in modern times is a waste of land resources. So what the governor did now, instead of going to look for another place, let us start by reconstructing this particular commissioner's quarters. So what we did that, take away one house, one bungalow, and produce 3 ultra-modern edifices to house 3 commissioners with bus quarter and several other facilities, improved and with modern technology. Everything is here. So that is what we've been doing now. This is 3 blocks. There are another 2 blocks up there. There are other ones going up on location because we are taking it gradually. By the end of the next month, 3 commissioners will pack in. And when they pack in, we now go to the old buildings, the bungalows. If we demolish one building, give us another 3 buildings. If we demolish 3 buildings, we are due for another 9 new or another commissioners.
In Anambra, the relationship between executive and legislative arms of government is peaceful and friendly. This has paved the way for massive transformation going on at the Assembly complex, beginning with the structural upgrade of the 2 legislative buildings. This intervention by the Action Governor is premised on the fact that when the environment is conducive, the lawmakers will become more productive in their legislative duties.
To the working governor, Professor Charles Soludo, CFR, on the wonderful work you have been doing and continue to do. You can see for yourself, this place has turned to another important edifice, a legislative arm that will be working. The environment will be working in a good environment, and this will translate to lawmaking, both in the laws we are making here, the oversight functions and the representative. They will be doing their work efficiently. So let's continue this work. Like Honorable Commissioner has said, the work is still in progress. We have all that is
Phase 2.
Phase 2. You can see the edifice. This is now a state monument, so that anybody that comes here will be glad to receive visitors. And our legislative arm will be good for that. So thank you very much.
Also, the Ministry of Housing is in good working partnership with the Ministry of Health to deliver quality healthcare delivery to the citizens. The ministry is currently supervising the construction and reconstruction of health facilities across the state, one of which is the upgrade of 3 general hospitals in Ekulobia for Anambra South, Umueri for Anambra North, and Enugu for Anambra Central. Work is fast advancing on these projects, especially at the General Hospital Enugu being executed by Chusuf Ventures Nigeria Limited.
We're here to execute a government project. The government wants to upgrade this Enugu General Hospital. So we're here for the upgrade of the Enugu General Hospital. You can see that here is already a new look. We just came into the external work, the road, the concrete pavement, which recently was still ongoing. And behind me is the General Operation Department, the GOPD department. You can see the look, we changed the roofing structure, we painted it, we worked on the perimeter fence, we renovated the water structure, we rehabilitated the borehole in the hospital here.
The management of the hospital was also thankful to the governor for the upgrade.
If you look around, you know this. You can see the remarkable transformation. Before, when you can pass through this place without knowing that there's a general hospital here. But even if you are blind from the gate, you know that something remarkable is happening here. If you check our data profile, there has been a remarkable increase in patient flow. Apart from the structures you are seeing, if you go inside the different buildings, there have been increment in the equipments and all those tools we used to work.
We want to appreciate the governor of Anambra State, Professor Soludo, who have decided to visit Enugu General Hospital with wonderful renovations. This hospital is an old one, and the structures are old, and many of the buildings are dilapidated. The environment, the compound is being almost taken away by flood, by erosions. So it makes the place, it looks like an abandoned hospital where there is no activity until the governor decided to visit us with this renovation.
The life-saving intervention is also attracting accolades from the people.
I've been here since 2017. You can see for yourself that there are a lot of changes. There are a lot of innovations and changes. Pulling this building you are seeing, pulling the compound, the being 5. So there are a lot of changes to the better. Yes, people are happy with what is going on. And what I want to tell the government is that they are trying.
Also, at the General Hospital, Ekulobia, Dr. Patrick Okbalangwa was on hand to convey their gratitude to the state government.
General Hospital Ekulobia has changed since last year, since we took over this place. You don't need to be told, you can see for yourself, structurally and in working process. The governor is doing very well, without mincing words. Even apart from the hospital itself, the whole of Ekulobia is a construction site. You don't need to be told. Entering the town, you know that something is really happening. Then coming to the issue of upgrading this place to a referral center. We heard about it truly last year, and we can feel it based on the structural upgrade. We pray that it is fastened so that this place can become a referral center, an annex to Federal Medical Center Onitsha. As it's going to help our work, it's going to help the people of these environs. Instead of going to Amak or Newu, people can get whatever they want.
Apart from those being upgraded, new general hospitals are being constructed in parts of the state. The one in Okboko, in Obaru local government, which is fast nearing completion, is another eloquent testimony of the uncommon interest of Governor Soludo in the community.
Mr. Governor, in his manifesto, also hinted in the Anambra of having general hospitals that will serve as referral centers for other primary health centers around, so that in the Anambra will have good and quality health. And that is why in Ekulobia, for the southern part of the state, and Enugu for the central, and Umueri General Hospital for the northern zone. And all these general hospitals are having serious upgrade. In fact, as we talk now, at the finishing point, Mr. Governor will be going to commission those projects in a very short time, because they will be forming part of the projects that Mr. Governor will be commissioning in our second year anniversary. So that is the nature of what we are doing. And apart from that, under health, we also bring so many other hospitals, a general hospital of Oko, specialist hospital in Fege, we have general hospital in Anako, in so many other places, in Nzam, in so many other places. They are all there coming up.
Dr. Alex Ekweme Square, one of the oldest event centers in Anambra State, is currently being upgraded to a modern event center with necessary facilities. Located within Oka, the state capital, the general outlook of the square before the advent of Soludo's administration is strongly adjudged demeaning for the personality of Dr. Alex Ekweme, one of the greatest political icons of Igbo extraction and former vice president of Nigeria, after whom the facility was named. Soludo's administration is disrupting that ugly reality with the ongoing work, which eventually, in weeks to come, will give it a globally acceptable look. Anambra will soon return there for their events with greater comfort. The strides of Soludo's administration are also visible in the area of school infrastructure, the transformation at Uborimili Primary Schools 1, 2, and 3, as well as Urban Boys Secondary School, located within the housing estate, Fege Onitsha, speaks volumes.
I want to say that our governor is action governor, Professor Charles Soludo. He was the governor that made the promise to my students that their former site was very bad. There was no accommodation. The environment was very, very bad, not conducive for teaching and learning. We now have enough accommodation. And even those two upstairs, you can see the two-story building, two of them. One is here, one is the other side. That is the administrative block. Because these ones you can see here are classrooms, and it cannot accommodate the members of staff. So he has also started building administrative block. That is the building, the new construction you are seeing there. So now, as you can see, teaching and learning is more conducive than before. Ministry of Housing, they are doing a very nice work. If you watch that new construction, you find out that they connected it with the old one. If you go to that place, you will see it very well. So that students will not be coming down before they go up to the other one. You can conveniently move from the old building to the new one. So by the time they finish this new one now, you'll find out that this will be a mini campus.
As a matter of fact, our governor has been doing a wonderful thing in this our school. The situation of our school in normal form is that our school is not comfortable for us. That's when we have not relocated to this world. Our school is not comfortable for us. It is so compacted and so sophisticated for us that we are not in a good condition. There are not enough ventilation, there are no enough vegetation, and there is no field available for us, we boys, to play football. But as you can see the situation now, the governor has facilitated many places. There are football field, there are table tennis pitch, there are football pitch, and there are enough vegetation where we can conduct agricultural practical. So as a truth, honestly speaking with you, we are happy and very delightful to have a governor like Governor Charles Soludo.
Mrs. Antonia Nkonye teaches at Uborimili Primary School 1.
This environment was not conducive for learning anyway, but governments come into existence and they restructure many of the buildings. Like we are in the Uborimili Primary School, our block is the other side. They renovated it well. Then they come to this side and renovated this side well too. Before, there is no zinc. The zinc is already damaged and there is leakage. It is leaking. But government came into our site and restructured it. Then, no, the construction is still on work. It is not yet done.
Despite inheriting precarious security situation, Professor Soludo has stabilized and restored relative peace to the state. Today, a security-based camp has been constructed at Isofia, Agwata local government area, to further consolidate on the security architecture of the state.
We also had the governor come to the issue of security by putting up the security-based camp, which is also helping to cope security issues in the southern zone of the state.
The solution government, through the Ministry of Housing, has equally renovated and furnitured 4 judges' chambers in the Court of Appeal in Oka. The move, which is aimed at enhancing the operational space for the judges, is equally capable of improving the quality of judicial verdicts emanating from the judges. Indeed, the vision to make Anambra a livable, prosperous and smart megacity is on course with the Ministry of Housing in the lead. Mr. Commissioner Honorable Paul Onyeka said much more are yet in the kitty for the Anambra in the next 2 years.
Before the next 2 years, we would have completed the aspect of the residential building for Mr. Speaker, for the Chief Judge, and first of all, that of the Deputy Governor, which is also in this year's budget. So we are looking towards all this. And over and above everything, we also look at the aspect of the mass housing to see that while the government is partnering in terms of PPP arrangement with developers. We also have the individual developers coming up with high-rise buildings to shorten the gap in terms of housing deficit. So that is on that. So many other things that will come.
Anambra has never had it this good. No wonder people everywhere are panting for more of this selfless, progressive and development-oriented leadership which is driving their darling state in the direction of its long-awaited dream.
Build a land of progress with the spirit of Anambra, with the